All right, guys, what a week it has been for crypto and crypto investors. I hope you're all doing okay. I know it's been pretty savage and a lot of people have lost a lot of money, myself included. So what I wanted to do in this video was to show you what has happened to my portfolio, show you how much money I've lost, how much I'm in the hole. As I know there are a lot of people out there that have lost money and are maybe feeling a bit alone, thinking they're the only ones. But let me assure you, a lot of people have lost money over the past few weeks and over the past 2 months. Yes, people have made money as well. And what you're going to be seeing on social media is a lot of people bragging about how much money they've made. But to be honest, the majority of people will have been losing money over the past few months. And I think it's important to share the reality of that. And hopefully by me showing you guys what's happened to my portfolio, it will at least maybe make you feel a little bit better and a little bit less alone about what has happened. And also it will show you not to trust any of the crypto advice I give you. But if you do want to trust my advice or follow my advice, follow me on Twitter at DarrenAdija, and that's where I share all of the things that I get up to. And I was tweeting quite a lot last week actually about what was going down in the crypto world. So thank you to everyone that engaged with me on there. So let's take a look at what happened. Here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin kind of topped out in November. We were all expecting it to go to 100K. It didn't. We dropped down, and then we'd been consolidating, to be fair, and we had seen some higher lows. We'd seen a couple of higher highs. We actually broke through the range, and things were looking really promising about here, to be honest. I actually thought we were going to kind of push on from here, but we didn't. We broke back down below the support, and then as soon as we kind of broke this this trend line here, I haven't actually got it drawn in, but there was a trend line across here. As soon as we broke, it became obvious that we were going to be going a bit lower. And then all of a sudden, yeah, last week was savage. You know, a lot of people lost a lot of money last week. There's no two ways about it. So Bitcoin got hammered. The total crypto market cap, you can see they got hammered as well. We dropped from around about 1.8 trillion down to, well, its lowest, just over $1 trillion. But at the moment, we're at about 1.3. So well over $500 billion down the total crypto market cap. And Luna, well, I mean, the less said about Luna, the better. Anyone that's in the crypto world is probably familiar with what happened to Luna last week. And, well, I've got to push that down to even find the bottom of that line for you guys. Yeah, not good. There's not good. That's the best way to describe Luna. And, of course, if anyone had money in Terra or UST, not good for you guys either. So what's happened to me? How much money have I lost since? Let's go back to it. I'm going to go back to November because this is when we all thought we were going to 100K and we didn't. So how much money have I lost since then all the way through to this point now? We're on the 16th of May. Let's see how things have gone. So the first thing I've got here, this is a screenshot of my Revolut bank account. So I filtered this by Coinbase to show you all of the fiat that I've invested into Coinbase since I got into crypto. And the first transaction was the 27th of May last year. So I'm coming up to my 1 year crypto anniversary. You can see here initially I started with £10 just to make sure I'd got all of the numbers and codes correct before dropping in a larger amount. And I think the first £5,000 I actually split equally between Ethereum and Cardano. And I think if I'd have just stopped there and put £5,000, I would be in profit at that moment. But as it was, I really got sucked into crypto. I was following far too many influences that I gave too much weight into what they were saying. I made a number of bad decisions. I kept investing. And when you add that all up, so there's a few transactions there, you can go for yourself if you want, but when you add that up, that comes to £15,230. So that is how much fiat I've invested into crypto. So keep that figure in mind for later on in the video. But that isn't how much I've lost in total, because things were going up for the first part of my crypto trading career. So what I've got here is a screenshot from CoinGecko. So this is my portfolio tracking app. Now my portfolio isn't identical to this at the moment because some of the coins I sold and moved them and reinvested them and changed them, but the actual money has all stayed within my portfolio. So it does give you a representation of how far I've come down overall. So this was taken on the screenshot was the 9th of November. So if we go back to BTC here, the 9th of November was, let me just find this here. 9th of November was there. So basically just after we topped. So I took I remember taking these screenshots because I wanted to compare them to see how much I'd made in 6 months. But instead we're comparing to see how much I'd actually lost in 6 months, which sucks, but there we go. So I was at $27,000 just as Bitcoin had made its all-time high. And I think I posted a screenshot of my portfolio about that time showing you what was in my portfolio, but I think I starred out all of the figures, but it's on my Twitter feed somewhere. So at one point I was at $27,000, and I'm just going to run you through some of the coins that I was invested in. And anyone that's invested in any of these coins know how bad things have got here. So I was invested in Giro, which was a wallet for Cardano. That at one point was worth about $400 or $500, but even in November was well down because, like I say, I made some bad decisions based on giving too much weight into certain influencers that I was following at the time. Tech, which was a gaming one. Serum, which is to do with the Solana ecosystem. Crush, another gaming one, which I've since sold. I sold it about break even. Superbid, I got out about break even. D-Race, I'm still holding, which is a gaming NFT. Radium is a DEX on Solana as well. Wayu, that was promising to be another NFT marketplace, but I managed to sell that just below break even, I think, and it's a good job I did because that's pretty much gone to zero now. VPP, which is virtual poker, which was another gaming crypto at the time that was doing well. Engine, another gaming related one. Then we had Hex. I haven't sold all my Hex. Instead, I've sacrificed all of my Hex for Pulse. So hopefully Pulse Chain is launching in the next few weeks, but we've heard that many times before. And my portfolio is that bad. I'm really hoping that Pulse Chain does well and might dig me out of that. So in USDT that I hadn't invested at the time, Phantom, which had bombed since. Luna looked really good back then. We all know what's happened to that. Omni, I've sold that. Graph, I'm still in the Graph. Link, Cardano, Matic, UFO, Solana, Superdot, BTC, and ETH. So I'm still in all of those. So my portfolio was worth $27,000 at that time. So what I'm going to do now is show you that portfolio again from bottom to top and show you how little that some of these cryptos are now worth. So to kick things off, we have at the bottom Luna. I've got, I think, 15 Luna, which is currently worth less than 1 cent, isn't it? And if we go back, what was Luna worth back here? Luna was worth about $785, but I think at its peak was worth about $1,300, I think, because Luna was Luna was doing really well at one point. So Luna, well, is basically zero. It's worthless at this point. I'm just keeping it in case they have any sort of revival plan that brings any sort of value back to it. And that's the same with all of these tech, THG, Giro, is that they're basically worthless at the moment. But if just one of them recovers, it's worth me holding all of them. So there's no point me selling. So I'm holding them in the hope that maybe one of them recovers a little bit of value. But you can see here between these, they're worthless. These are worth $5, $10, $11, $15. When you go back, these were worth, if I go back to the bottom here, some of these are worth $200, $300. So things have gone down massively. And I remember when I started getting into crypto, some influencers, to their credit, did say, look, altcoins can go to zero. Altcoins can lose 80, 90% just like that. And they have. So you hear it a lot. It does happen. It's happened to me now. Hopefully it's going to make me a better investor going forward. Let's just go up a bit and see what we've got. So pretty much all of these are still worthless. We get back to around about the $100 mark where you've got Engine, which is, and I think this is the way to play this now. Any of these cryptos that still have reasonable value is a promising sign that they will recover long term. So I certainly wouldn't be invested in any of the smaller ones, but some of the ones like Engine and the Graph, Phantom and stuff might still recover whenever the next leg up may come, whether that's in 3 to 6 months or 3 to 6 years, we'll find out. If we go back to the top, you can see some of the coins have disappeared as I sold them and restructured them, and my ETH holding has gone up a bit as I was planning about with NFTs and growing that. But overall, my portfolio as of the 16th of May is currently worth $10,000 or $10,600. So that's down, scroll back up there. That's down quite a lot. That's down $16,500, which is a fair old chunk of change. So I'm down $16,000 from the peak of my portfolio, and my investment, if you remember, was £15,230. And at the moment, my portfolio is worth $10,613. So let me just quickly do that. So 10,000, let's just say $10,000, just to make it easy. My portfolio is worth about £8,000 at the moment. And if I invested just over £15,000, yeah, I'm about $7,000 down. So yeah, it sucks to be a crypto investor at the moment, or the investments I made are very bad investments. There will have been, of course, people that have made an awful lot of money over the past few weeks and over the past few months. You know, people that were short in the market, and fair play to them, they've done well. I've certainly learned an awful lot over this period. I'm going to try and share that going forward. So if you do want to hear about that, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Darren the Degen. If you found this video useful, or even if you've just felt a bit of sympathy for what's happened, make sure you hit the like button. And if you want to see more from me, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.